If you read articles across the internet, if you look at television programs, and if you listen to property gurus, you would think some of the best places to buy real estate on the Spanish coast are places like Mallorca, Tenerife, and Barcelona. But today I'm actually going to go against all these gurus and all these recommendations and give you my 5 best places to buy on the Spanish coast. Now, the reasons why I'm discounting places like Mallorca, Tenerife, and Barcelona are the following. The first main reason is that they are very, very expensive places to buy property. So, for example, on the island of Mallorca, easily a good villa can cost you over €1 million. Barcelona as well, buying near the beach can easily cost €5,000 per square meter. And I also did a video quite recently on Tenerife where I did say it's not particularly cheap either. Also, the cost of living, especially for a lifestyle purchase, is higher than the other places I'm going to recommend today. And thirdly as well, the Airbnb market is either banned or restricted in these places. So here go my 5 recommendations. Now, coming in at number 5 is Benalmadena on the Costa del Sol. So about 10 kilometers west of Malaga Airport, Benalmadena is a lovely, lovely place. It has beautiful beaches, an amazing marina, a lovely old village. It's got Tivoli World, an aquarium, and a very popular cable car service. And even what I found amazing, there's a stupa in Benalmadena, which is very, very unusual. And what I like is that it is very, very near Malaga Airport. So literally you are looking at a suburban train ride from Malaga to Benalmadena, and from the airport a direct taxi should not take you very, very long either. So what I did on a actual video on the Costa del Sol, I did show you a number of sea view properties for around €1,500 per square meter. Now, compared to Malaga, property per square meter is actually not that much cheaper in Benalmadena. In fact, in many areas, it's actually more expensive. But the advantage is that in Benalmadena, you are more likely to find apartments with sea view. And I'll explain why. Malaga has a lot more high-rise buildings with no views. So unless you're on the front line, you're not really going to get a lot of apartments with sea views. In Benalmadena, you can more easily buy apartments with sea views, and as it is more hilly. Now, I will add to this, buying on the Costa del Sol isn't my first choice, definitely not. I wouldn't buy here, but I know a lot of people actually prefer the Costa del Sol to other costas, and that's why I've put Benalmadena in 5th place. Now, coming in at number 4 is what I think is a wonderful city, a really, really beautiful city to buy property in, and it is the city of Valencia. Now, Valencia is the 3rd largest city in Spain, and really, I have to say, this is a great place to live. It has an amazing climate, and to be honest, for the nightlife scene, it's often touted as the best place for nightlife. What I love about Valencia too, its beautiful medieval centre, and also the crime rate in Valencia is much lower than both Madrid and Barcelona, and so are property prices. Often you'll find in Valencia property prices in certain areas of Valencia are half those than in Barcelona and Madrid. Valencia also has good transport links with a metro line and an extensive bus route. And Valencia Airport flies to really all the major cities in Europe, as well as to Morocco and Algeria. And what I love about Valencia too, it's got beautiful beaches, and we mustn't forget that. And what we mustn't forget as well are the many museums and buildings which date back to both the Roman and Arabic times. So you're not going to be short of museums to visit here, and you're not going to be short of opportunities for going to the beach and having a good nightlife, in particular the centre. Now, also for sports lovers as well, Valencia has two major teams, Valencia and Levante, and Valencia have actually won La Liga 6 times, and very importantly, they've actually been in 2 Champions League finals as well. So this tells you that Valencia really is a major city in Spain, but with property at much more reasonable price than both Madrid and Barcelona. And coming in at number 3, as you can see, is Almeria Province. Now, I actually did a video on Almeria Province, and I showed you a number of sea view apartments which were very, very cheap. One in Vicar actually was less than €1,000 per square meter. I also showed you other apartments with sea views in places like Mojácar and Garucha. And I want to talk a bit about Almeria being very, very, very cheap. So the low cost of living makes this a great place to buy property and have a good lifestyle. Now, the airport actually has direct flights to a number of cities in the UK. It has flights to Dublin, Prague, Brussels and Rotterdam. That said, compared to many other airports in Spain, flights are a little bit more limited. However, as I've said, there can be no doubt property is really, really cheap here. And lots of people argue that it has maybe the best climate in Europe, and you're not going to be short of fantastic beaches. And let's not forget too, it is rich in cultural heritage. And as I've said, I don't recommend property in Spain as an investment, but as a lifestyle purchase, yes. So why not go for the cheaper place rather than the more expensive places like Mallorca and Barcelona? Now, coming in at number 2, and also I think quite a nice place to buy property, and only just ahead of Almeria Province, is Murcia Province. Now, I also did a video on Murcia Province, and in my video I showed you sea view properties in places like Aguilas, Mazaron and San Pedro del Pinatar, and some of these apartments were well under €1,500 per square meter. And as I've said, they had some lovely sea views. I also found an apartment in La Manga, which is quite popular with foreign buyers, and here the apartment was also under €1,500 per square meter. Now let's talk a little bit about the airport. Murcia Airport has a lot of flights to London. It's got flights to Manchester, Birmingham, Antwerp, Brussels and Casablanca as well in Morocco. But as with Almeria Province, the flights are a little bit limited. So if you're coming in from, let's say, a country like France, it's not so easy. You may have to choose another airport. But nevertheless, Murcia Province has some absolutely wonderful beaches and an amazing climate too. And as I've said, a very, very, very low cost of living. Now, why have I put Murcia Province ahead of Almeria Province? To be honest, they are, for me, almost on the same level. I just think Murcia Province is a little bit more developed. And also, if the town of Murcia is actually a lovely, I should say actually city, is a lovely city to visit. And I love this whole area. But coming in at number 1, and in my mind, no doubt the best place to buy real estate on the coast in Spain, as you can see, is Alicante. Now, as I've said, Alicante has the best value for money property in Spain. You have all the facilities of a big city. Beaches in particular, I love the Postiguet beach. It has a lovely cathedral, an amazing castle called Santa Barbara, and I've walked up to there. Beautiful to go up there, fantastic views. And the airport, it's great because you can fly in to Alicante airport and literally be on the beach with a very short bus ride. And there are lots of flights from Alicante to many destinations across Europe, far more than, let's say, Murcia airport or Almeria airport. And also it does fly to Morocco as well. Now, just to give you two examples of where it flies further than the other airports I've mentioned in Murcia and Almeria, you can actually fly from Reykjavik and Kiev as well. What I love about Alicante are the property prices. So on average, you're looking at well under 2,000 euros per square meter. And that's great, I think, for a city that has the facilities and the beach. So that's quite unique. You don't find many places like that. And even going to the city centre and also not far, very near the beach, you can find property for around 2,000 euros per square meter. And in my video on Alicante, I even managed to find properties with sea views for under 2,000 euros per square meter. Anyway, that's my 5 picks, but more importantly, I'd love to know your opinion. I'll put links to the videos I made on these 5 places, but I want to know if you agree or disagree. So, that's it for today. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I shall see you very soon on the next video.